Good afternoon. Thank you for invitation. My name is Bruno Messina and I teach at School of Architecture of University of Catania. The title of my presentation is The Search for the Episteme, the Relative Truths and Lies of Our Time. For Saint Thomas Aquinas, a Christian philosopher and theologian, beauty is the splendor of truth and depends on the perfect correspondence of matter to form. A transcendental vision that has influenced the thinkers and artists for centuries. Among them there is also Leon Battista Alberti, who imagines beauty as the sum of all parts working together in such a way that the addition or elimination of even one of them would alter the whole. But truth and beauty, although complementary concepts, have nevertheless a different nature. Truth is abstract and absolute, whereas beauty has a degree of ineffability, linked to the perceptual and emotional dimension of man. This is precisely the dimension referred to the French writer Stendhal when he defines beauty as a promise of happiness, an aphorism whose meaning we find in the definition coming from Edoardo Persico, who defines architecture as substance of things hoped for. In the Timaeus, Plato again narrates the genesis of the cosmos through a structure of numbers and represents the essence of natural elements of the world, fire, earth, air, water, ether, through 5 regular polyhedral. According to the Italian philosopher Emanuele Severino, the Platonic idea of the mathematics and geometry as absolute knowledge influenced all European architectural culture. The building of Western tradition, he says, are geometric mathematical configuration of the space, and therefore symbols of the Greek Christian episteme. For Severino, the spatial freedom of the Lausian round plan or the plan livre of the modern movement, freed from the epistemic idea of geometry and mathematics, expresses then a condition that is different from those expressed in the past. In the work of the masters of the modern movement, the foundation of the Platonic mathematical and geometric order remains the genetic code of Western architecture, sometimes in implicit form, in other cases in programmatic and experimental form, as in the Modular of Le Corbusier. In a drawing published in Vers une Architecture, Le Corbusier represents the monuments of ancient Rome through geometric solids and enunciates its famous definition. Architecture is the masterly, correct and magnificent play of masses brought together in light. Our eyes are made to see forms in light. Light and shade reveal these forms. Cubes, cones, spheres, cylinder or pyramids are the great primary forms which light reveals to advantage. The image of these is distinct and tangible within us and without ambiguity. Is for this reason that these are beautiful forms, the most beautiful forms. So sunlight, the very essence of the becoming of phenomenal world, reveals the truth of beauty of forms. The assertive search for the truth evolves through a complex process and a continuous shift in design strategies. In Villa Savoye, Le Corbusier assumes the symmetry and centrality of the square together with the identity of the four fronts as a reference for the composition. The reference to Villa Capra appears evident. The truth of this compositional principle is reaffirmed by their partial negation. The static centrality of the square is denied by the directionality of the ramp and by the dynamic perception of the promenade architecturale. The external envelope does not coincide with the internal space. The four fronts only apparently the same, envelope in the same way both the internal spaces and the open space of the courtyard. The search for truths always pursues new paths. After the purest experiments of the 1920s, the Swiss master reinterprets form and languages of the tradition. His expressive research used different materials and techniques, from reinforced concrete to steel, from stone or brick walls to wood, from the béton brut to the tensile structure of the Pavillon Philips in Brussels, or the steel and glass structure of the Maison de l'Homme in Zurich. The variety of techniques used by Le Corbusier reveals the idea that each discovery in construction field adds new expressive variable without excluding that already acquired. The truth of one's time is a dynamic truth which consists in the ability to interpret the expressive potential of a material, of a construction system, be it archaic or just experienced. As for Le Corbusier, the search for truth is a complex process also for Mies. In the Neue National Gallery in Berlin, the void takes its shape in an unobstructed space, defined by the coffered structure of the black roof, in a clear tectonic relationship between pillar and roof. In the Barcelona pavilion, the relationship is made ambiguous by the partition that seem to support the roof, although they have no structural function. In the Farnsworth house, the pillars outside of the roof don't denote anymore the supportive function. The master of the 20th century, from Loos to Le Corbusier and Mies, seek their own truth through a process of formal and expressive reduction to reach the threshold of silence of the Swiss masters, space indicible, which refers to unspeakability of beauty and therefore of truth. The crisis of modern moment leads us to rethink the relationship between man and his environment. The new truths are sought based on the narrative value and on the contamination of the language. The text by Robert Venturi, Complexity and Contradiction in Architecture, published in 1966, is emblematic in this sense. If the ideologies of the 20th century have produced partial and labile truths, postmodernity, by its very anti-ideological essence, produce lies in the form of truths. This condition, so widespread in our time, is based on the substantial reaction of architecture as a civil and collective expression. What prevails in the best-case scenario is the self-referential vision of the form that generates only transitory and individual truths, entrusted to inspiration and fantasy, in which architecture seems to renounce any ethical principle and tends to aspire only to a more ephemeral media success that, in the end, relegates architecture to very diverse areas such as design and fashion. In his latest book, 6 Memos for the Next Millennium, published in 1988, Italo Calvino collects a cycle of 5 lectures that he was due to deliver in the United States. The themes of the lectures on lightness, quickness, exactitude, visibility, multiplicity, and consistency constitute, in the writer's idea, paradigms from the third millennium and represent a reference for the contemporary architectural research. Some of these lectures allow us to unveil the dominant lies in the architecture of our time. In the name of a misinterpreted sense of the values of lightness and visibility, architecture tends more and more to dematerialize itself, thus denying its own nature, which is founded on that singular balance, as Georg Simmel said, between heavy matter passively opposed to the pressure and the formative spirituality that pushes upward. The formal structure of architecture is reduced to the appearance of the envelope. As the Spanish architect Alberto Campo Baeza argues, there are architects who can discuss nature in architecture unless it involves sustainability or planting vegetables on building. Such architects are like owners of the organic restaurants that have popped up all over New York. Everything that's not organic, they say, kills. The quickness and multiplicity of the digital world have projected architecture towards a dimension of virtual and artificial life that can be congenial to a scientist or an engineer, but is often unnatural for everyone else. As the Italian writer Alessandro Baricco argues in his book The Game, people need humanism. They need to continue to feel themselves as human beings. This deep human need can be the starting point in the quest for the truths of the third millennium, also in architecture.